Rin walked down the old road, passing old rust-covered cars that had been sprinkled with sand. He was on his way to Karwal, from the salted city. His bald head burned, in the bright hot sun. He would occasionally peel off flakes of burned, and blackened skin from his scalp. He stopped to take a sip from his canteen. The water soothed his dry lips. Something shined in his eyes, as he put his canteen back. What is that? He thought to himself. He pulled out his binoculars and looked through them. He saw an overpass that was crawling with the typical bandits that try to steal from travelers. He stopped and took out pieces of his rifle and started to put them together. He put the stock under his arm, knelt down, and stared down his scope. He took the first shot. Bang! The sound of Rin's rifle seemed to shake everything around him. He shot 3 more times, picking off each bandit, one after the other. Rin could no longer see any bandits running around trying to find what was sniping them. I've got to get closer, he thought, taking his gun apart and stuffing it back into his bag. When he took his hand out of his bag, he took from it a revolver. Its wooden handle rotted away long ago. He ran toward the overpass, ducking behind every rust-covered car. Once he got to the overpass, he sat for a moment, listening and watching for any signs of movement. After about 10 minutes he heard someone cry for help. "Help me, someone help," the voice yelled. Rin got up and ran toward the voice, and once he found the source he saw that it was an old man. The old man was stuck under a car. "What are you doing under there, old man?" Rin asked, staring down at him. "I ran under here when I heard someone shooting," the old man said. "Why can't you get out of there?" Rin asked. "Because my back is in great pain," the old man said. Just then Rin could hear someone's feet slap the ground. It got louder as the feet got closer, like someone was running up behind him. 2 bony arms wrapped around him, as Rin found himself being pushed to the ground. He was tackled by a scrawny albino man that had a coolie hat. Once Rin saw the hat, his head seemed to cheer with joy and fury. It knew that it would not have to bake in the sun like an egg if it had that hat. The man with the hat had his fingers wrapped around Rin's neck now, choking him. Rin quickly took his revolver and blew 3 big holes into the man's stomach. Blood erupted from the man's gut, with each shot. The man pulled his fingers away from Rin's neck and grabbed his stomach, trying to keep his blood and insides from coming out. The man with the hat fell back onto his knees holding his stomach. Rin stood up, rubbing his neck a little, then with one solid motion he jabbed his gun into the man's face, and pulled the trigger, blowing the man's face clean off. As the man with the coolie hat fell limp, Rin snatched the hat off of his head and put it onto his own. "What's happening? I can't see," the old man said with his face in the sand. "Nothing, just hold on," Rin said, wiping his hands and gun off on the dead man's clothes. Rin grabbed the old man's hands and began to pull him out from under the car. The old man was covered in sand. It coated his clothes and skin like it was water. Rin helped the old man get on his feet, and he dusted him off. With every pat of Rin's hand, sand fell from the old man's frail body like rain. "What's your name, mister?" the old man asked Rin, staring out into the eternal sand. "My name's Rin." "What's yours, old man?" Rin asked. "My name is Mac." "Can you help me?" Mac said. "Help you with what?" Rin said. "I must go to the sea." "Why would you need to go to the sea?" "I must go and see." Mac grabbed Rin by the shirt and stared into his eyes, with his own moon-colored ones. Rin tried to push Mac off, but something about Mac's eyes mesmerized him. They seemed to almost glow. "Listen, old man, I just left the salted city and it's about a 2 days journey to Karwal. I'm not going all the way back to the salted city, and anyway I don't think you will ever see again, old man." "Don't you know you're blind?" Rin said, finally able to get Mac down and off of him. "No, you don't understand, I have to go to the sea." "What's this salted city you are speaking of?" "It's a new settlement out by what used to be called the sea." "Where are you from, old man? Don't you know that the sea is gone? The last drop of water vanished 10 years ago. It's nothing but salt out there," as far as the eye can see. Rin said, trying to explain to Mac. I must go to the sea even if it's just salt. Well, I ain't taking you. Maybe you can stick with me until Carwall, and there we can find you someone to take you to the salted city. No, that will take too long, Mac said. God damn it, old man. It's a week's journey to the salted city, 2 days ain't going to matter. No, there is a faster way to the sea. A river. A what? Rin said, not knowing what Mac meant by a river. Rivers used to be roads made of water, Mac said. You're crazy, old man. There has never and will never be a road made of water, Rin said. No, there is. Only a day's journey, that way. Mac pointed out into the endless sandy abyss. How do you know where you're pointing? Rin said with an unbelieving look on his face. You're crazy, old man. Rin began to walk down the road toward Carwall, just ignoring Mac. No sir, please, I assure you there will be a great prize for you if you help me, Mac said, turning toward Rin. Rin stopped and turned to face Mac. What kind of prize? A prize greater than anyone has ever seen, or will ever see. Rin thought about what the prize could be: gold, bullets, food, or maybe even water. Okay, old man, your promise of this great prize has persuaded me. Oh, thank you, sir, Mac said, with a humble bow. We'll stay here tonight and leave in the morning, for that water road you were talking about, Rin said. Yes, Mac said. End of chapter 2 out of 6. Subscribe to be notified when chapter 3 releases and for other new stories. And please leave a like to let me know if you like this kind of story.